Well, tonight, with the world now wondering about the 10 co-conspirators of Jeffrey Epstein referred to in some of the Epstein files released today, it is worth considering. What would an innocent person do? What would someone who is mentioned in the Epstein files do if he or she believed that he or she is totally innocent of any wrongdoing with Jeffrey Epstein? Former President Bill Clinton's office put out a statement saying, quote, "We call on President Trump to direct Attorney General Bondi to immediately release any remaining materials referring to, mentioning, or containing a photograph of Bill Clinton." And there it is. That is the model for how you handle this situation if you are in the Epstein files and you believe you did nothing wrong. Jeffrey Epstein's biggest business partner, Les Wexner, has never said, "Release everything about me that's in the Epstein files." And he is not saying it now, after his name emerged today in a 2019 Justice Department email titled "Co-conspirators." The email described attempts to subpoena the list of co-conspirators, which included Ghislaine Maxwell. A legal representative for Mr. Wexner told the New York Times that he was not a target of the federal investigation or considered a co-conspirator. He provided federal prosecutors with background information on Mr. Epstein and was never contacted again, the representative said. So I guess that settles that. Les Wexner would be in business with Jeffrey Epstein in any way. So what was that all about? And we patiently await Mr. Wexner's lawyer issuing a statement saying that they demand immediately the release of all information in the Epstein files about him and any photograph of him in the Epstein files. We patiently await that moment. There is no indication that Donald Trump was on the list of co-conspirators. But here's what Donald Trump said about Jeffrey Epstein's most important co-conspirator after she was convicted of sex trafficking with Jeffrey Epstein. Donald Trump wishes Ghislaine Maxwell well. Donald Trump did not issue a statement today demanding the immediate release of any remaining materials referring to, mentioning, or containing a photograph of Donald Trump. Another email about co-conspirators released today said, quote, "Of the 10 co-conspirators, 3 have been located in Florida and served grand jury subpoenas. 1 in Boston, 1 in New York City, and 1 in Connecticut were located and served. 4 of the 10 are outstanding with attempts having been made. 1 is a wealthy businessman in Ohio. The remaining 3 are currently out of pocket. The team is flying out tonight, tomorrow to various locations in Florida to interview approximately 25 victims." If you were a wealthy businessman in Ohio who knew Jeffrey Epstein and you think you did nothing wrong, wouldn't you release a statement today, just like Bill Clinton's, demanding the release of any materials referring to, mentioning, or containing a photograph of yourself?
Welcome back, guys. When I watched this video, the first thing that came to my mind was how serious and disturbing this entire situation really is. These newly released Epstein files are not just old documents, they are reopening questions that many powerful people have tried to bury for years. And the way different people are reacting to their names appearing in these files tell us a lot. Let's start with Bill Clinton. Whether you like him or not, the response from his office stood out. His team immediately said that if there is any material in these files that mentions him, it should be released to the public right away. They basically said, put everything out there. The video describes this as a model response, and honestly, that makes sense. If someone is innocent and believes the truth will clear them, transparency is the strongest move. Now, compare that with Donald Trump's reaction, or more accurately, the lack of one. According to the video, Trump has never demanded the full release of any material related to him. Instead, he has reportedly tried to stop information from coming out. That contrast is impossible to ignore. When one person says release everything and other fights to keep things hidden, people are naturally going to ask why. Then there is the issue of Les Wexner. He has not just a random name in Jeffrey Epstein's life, he was a major business partner and played a key role in Epstein's life. The video mentions a 2019 Justice Department email that reportedly listed co-conspirators, and Wexner's name was connected to that. His lawyer claimed he was not a target, but again, the same question applies. If he truly demands the full release of all information related to him, silence in moments like this creates more conspiration, not less. One of the most shocking parts of this video is the information about Trump flying on Epstein's plane. For years, Trump downplayed or denied how close he was to Epstein. But these files reportedly show that Trump flew on Epstein's plane at least 4 times, and not alone. Ghislaine Maxwell was on those flights. That's matter. This is not gossip, this is documented flight information. When facts like this came out, they directly challenge past public statements. The video also brings up Trump's comment where he said he wished Ghislaine Maxwell well after she was convicted of sex trafficking. Think about that. For a moment, Maxwell was convicted for crimes involving minors. Most people would condemn that behavior clearly and strongly. Wishing her well raised eyebrows then, and now, with these files being released, it feels even more uncomfortable. Another critical moment in the video is the discussion about the 10 co-conspirators. According to the email mentioned, some of these individuals have already been served with grand jury subpoenas in places like Florida, Boston, and New York City. Others are still outstanding. One of them is described as a wealthy businessman from Ohio, which strongly suggests Les Wexner again. This tells us that the Epstein case is not closed. It is active and there are still people under legal scrutiny. The strongest criticism in this video is aimed at what the speaker calls the Trump Justice Department. The accusation is severe. The claim is that instead of acting like an independent justice system, it acted more like Trump's personal criminal defense team. The video argues that the department fought against releasing the Epstein files and worked to protect powerful individuals. If that is even partially true, it represents a massive failure of justice. This is where the story goes beyond just Epstein or Trump. This becomes about the system itself. When the justice system protects the powerful and ignores victims, trust collapses. People stop believing that the law applies equally to everyone, and that damage lasts far longer than any single scandal. Marjorie Taylor Greene's reaction was also highlighted, and surprisingly, it added another layer to this story. She openly said she was horrified by what the files revealed. She criticized Trump for calling her a terror simply because she demanded the release of the Epstein files. Her statement was blunt. She said that only evil people would hide this information and protect those who participated. That is not a small accusation, especially coming from someone within Trump's own political space. What this video really shows is that transparency is the dividing line. Some people demanded it, others fight it, and in a case involving trafficking, abuse, and exploitation, hiding information is not a natural act. It sends a message. It tells victims that their suffering matters less than protecting powerful names. No matter where you stand politically, this should concern you. This is not about left versus right. This is about truth versus secrecy. It is about whether justice is real or selective. When documents like these exist, the public has a right to see them, especially when they involve crimes against children. At the end of the day, the Epstein files are not just about Epstein. He is gone. This is about the people who enabled him, protected him, and benefited from his power. It is about who is willing to face the truth and who is desperate to keep it hidden. If innocent people truly have nothing to fear, then full transparency should be the obvious choice. And if someone is fighting that transparency, the public has every right to ask why. Because justice delayed is bad enough, but justice burned is something no society should ever expect. If you want more real, no filter reaction videos like this, subscribe to my channel and I will see you in the next video.